At the University of Colorado, we make quality education accessible to everyone. We award more undergraduate, graduate, and professional degrees than any other university in the state. We reimagine the way communities are designed, and we help people throughout Colorado to be healthier. We are 4 campuses, united in making a difference.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you're tuned into the Lions Den, official source of UCCS Sports. Next thing we want to talk about here on the Lions Den is the UCCS women's soccer games from this past weekend. Unfortunately, didn't get the results we were hoping for here on the Lions Den as they fell to the likes of MSU Denver and Regis University. Friday night's matchup, a tough loss for UCCS. It was Bethany Lillefield who led the team with 5 shots, 3 shots on goal, none of which were able to find the back of the net though for UCCS, unfortunately. Mount Lions fell to 2-10-1 overall, 2-6-1 in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. But I got some great news for you guys.
What's that?
Still mathematically possible to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
They're still not out yet. Okay, so we've been talking about this all season long, that there's still a chance. They need to get it together to pull together a little winning streak, and then who knows what can happen.
Sure.
Well, this is the final time we're going to say this, guys, because if they don't do it this week, the season's going to end for them. And I know those girls don't want the season to end quite yet, but they got 2 games left. And it is still, again, possible for them to make the playoffs. If they win both those games, they're going to need some help on the other end. You can see the official standings there. UCCS not doing quite so well at the moment. Second to bottom of that list. But again, if math serves correct, which it always does, 1 + 1 is always 2. If they pull together some wins and they get some help from some of those top teams there, still a chance. Still a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance? And I am. Spencer, I'm telling you there is a chance.
Yeah, and there always has been, and we're able to say that all the way through the end of the season, which is good. That gives us light, hope at the end of the tunnel. Friday was a tough loss, for sure. I mean, you don't ever want to go against MSU at their own field and lose. And it wasn't just a loss. I mean, it was pretty bad. But the good thing that we can take away from that is that they definitely learned a lesson. Offensively, defensively, errors, substitutions, the sideline making noise, all of those aspects are something that they can improve on. And the good thing is that they know. They definitely walked away from that, and they knew that they did not play their best game. And it's very hard for us to keep saying it over and over, but they have the potential. It's hard for us to see that and see it, keep falling to losses when we know that they can win. And I think that's the hardest part for them to comprehend too, is they don't know where they're falling short, is because they're going out there, they're giving them the best. They're shooting shots. There's players stepping up all over the field and trying to make a difference. And they still come up short. So it's a tough season and it's hard. And we are coming towards the end, but there's still light. It's still there. So we can't give up even this weekend. So
well, sure, but worst case scenario, a team enters the final weekend and they're not playing for anything.
Right.
The team is still playing for something.
That's true.
And so we should, in theory, still see the best that this team has to offer. If anything, we should see a better Mountain Lion team than we've ever seen before, because they know if they lose one of the 2 games this weekend, it's done.
Yeah. Right.
So we got to see the very best if they even have a chance of making the playoffs. Let's real quick. We'll talk about Sunday's game as well. That one didn't quite go the way we wanted it to either. They dropped 4-1 against Regis. I know you were there actually watching live, causing some mayhem from the rumors that I have heard. So Glenn, what did you see yesterday, a day away from UCCS? And I mean, they jumped out to a 1-0 lead.
Sure.
If the game had ended 5 minutes after it started, they would have had the victory. Right. But unfortunately, they still had 85 minutes, and they gave up 4 goals in that time.
Right. And the reason that I say that I think they learned a big lesson on Friday was because when they came out on Sunday, it was a different team. Like I saw Grace Nelson making saves.
Grace Ramsden.
If
Grace
Nelson's
playing. That's volleyball. She's quite the athlete, but
they were. She was diving everywhere inside that box, making saves that I have not seen in a long time. I was seeing people shoot from 30-yard markers. Ann Odom was stepping up. Bethany Lillefield was playing center back and was stepping up. They had some big girls. I mean, it was just a fun game to watch. I realized, it was a 4-1 loss. But again, we keep saying that, these scores don't represent what is actually being played on the field. And it definitely didn't show that on Sunday, because it was a great, hard-fought game the entire time. So I really enjoyed being there as a fan and supporting them and not being able to have to work and, analyze that hard. But just being there and having fun, they did great. I honestly am being honest. They played a great game versus Regis, and that Regis was higher than them. So, they fought, and they did a great job, I thought.
Well, Spencer, you're going to be calling the action this Friday, announcing all the games. You're going to be doing possibly some senior day stuff for the men's team, maybe the women's, who knows. But what are your thoughts moving forward into this weekend? What do you expect to see from the women's soccer team on Friday night when you're calling the action?
I think this Friday it's going to be shooting out the gate. They're literally just going to go from the first second that whistle blows to the end, because we have a couple seniors. This is the last weekend they might play, and they're going to play as hard as they can the entire game and just try to play the sport that they love as much as they can. And I think that's at the point where a lot of players are at too. They don't know where the season's going. There is hope, there is a chance, but this also might be the last weekend. And if it is, play it to the best of your ability. Play it to the capability that you can. Step out on the field and say, I want to make a goal. Even if you're a defensive back, you're an outside back, and you want a goal, they're going to try to dribble down the field and make it. They're going to try to have the best touches of their life. CSU Pueblo is a tough team. They've had some incredible wins that they pulled out, against Mines and Mesa, but it's going to be tough. And at least we're on our field. Hopefully we can get some fans out there, make some noise, show the team, and the fans can show the team that we still appreciate them, we still love them, and we still love watching them play the game that they love. So I think Friday is going to be a close game, just because of everything that they're thinking about, everything that's on the line, and some of them just want to play. If you get to play the sport that you love in college, that's minimum by themselves. They know why they're here and what being able to play at the next level means the world to them. Be able to do that and have a chance to still go to the playoffs, even more. Being able to play with the seniors for the last time, even more. So there's so much that is riding on this game. I think it's going to be an awesome game to watch and come out Friday.
I agree 100%. And then when you throw into the mix that we're playing our rival in the Steel and Silver Series, CSU Pueblo, that's even more to get up for. They're playing for a potential playoff spot. Mm-hmm. They're playing their rival about 45 minutes down I-25, so that's an important matchup on a personal note that they want to win to get more points in the Steel and Silver rivalry in that series. So, Charlie, I really think, correct me if you think otherwise, but I think we're going to see the very best UCCS women's soccer team that we've seen all season long. It's now or never.
Yeah, I agree. It's just taking a little bit back to this weekend, and especially after that MSU loss, what it really showed me is that our teams were putting up shots. You said Bethany Littlefield, 3 shots on goal. And Odom, had a couple shots on goal too. So it isn't that the Mountain Lions offense wasn't working. It was just they couldn't put the ball in the net. And sadly, that is the name to the game. So definitely had some potentials and had some close calls, just couldn't get it in there and, make that lead a little less. But then also for that game against Regis, it was a fun one to watch. And I got to watch it. I live streamed it, got to watch it. And it was a lot of fun to watch that one because they did seem like they had something to play for still. And they still were playing for each other. But going into this weekend, we're going to remember these seniors from their best times. And, there's a lot of seniors that are very notable. But, Michaela Mansfield is likely going down in the record books as number one in a lot of statistics.
She cannot play this weekend, and she's going to finish number one.
Exactly. So we will remember, what these seniors have brought to us. Jess Freeze, too, our first playoff game at home, going to the second round last year. Everything that this program has been, reaching new heights and what these seniors have done. So it's really going to be a celebration for them. And then also, like you said, the stage is set. Playing CSU Pueblo, still playing for a playoff spot, knowing that this might be the last weekend you ever get to play with these seniors, get to play the game you love for the seniors. The stage is set, and it just will depend how much they really want it. And CSU Pueblo is a big team, but UCCS has faced a lot of tough teams this season. So I think they can hold their own. So it definitely an interesting weekend and a lot of subplots that will be very interesting.
It's going to be really exciting to preview that even further on our preview show this upcoming Thursday. And then, of course, we'll have the results for you in a week from today right here on the Lions Den. But we do have more to cover. When we come back, we're going to talk about the UCCS cross-country teams as they were both also in action this past weekend in Spearfish, South Dakota. We'll be right back with a whole lot more right here on the Lions Den.
UCCS. From believing in yourself, from supportive faculty, from trying new things. Success comes from discovering your passion, from being fearless, from those around you. Success comes from UCCS. Apply online at uccs.edu.